Hi everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw True Optical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Everybody ready for the end of the week, ready for Friday? I'm finally going back down to Pensacola again this weekend. It's been 4 weeks. You know, I've been back almost a year now and I go down there frequently and I kind of run out of stuff to do down there. So, you know, I've just kind of been figuring I wouldn't waste money just going down there just to go. So anyhow, looking forward to going down there tomorrow, getting out of town, shaking things up a little bit. And I wanted to finish the week talking about a raw food diet, weight gain, loss, and maintenance. I do videos every day, so if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. And then click that little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel and YouTube won't unsubscribe you. Yeah, I was just thinking about this one this morning. This one's just going kind of free flow. I didn't really prepare a lot for it. This is just kind of coming from my own opinion and my own thoughts, which everything on this channel comes from my own thoughts. There should never be anything that I say that should really upset you that much because it's just my opinion. I don't ever sit here on this channel and try to tell you I'm right. I know this, that, and the other. Just kind of telling you my opinions and what seems to be working for me. The word I want to use here to start off is consistency on any of them, whether it's loss, gain, or just maintaining your weight. Everything in life is about what you consistently do. You know, you don't do little things in spurts. That's why we should have figured out a long time ago, though it took me a long time, like it did most people, to figure out diets don't work. It's not about what we do for some short period of time. It's not about, you know, doing something, getting to a point and stopping. It's about consistency because, as we always want to say, this is a lifestyle. This isn't just something we're doing for, you know, 2 months to get to a certain point and then stop. So it's always going to be about consistency and what you do on a consistent basis. Now, what I've found as far as the weight gain is I really have to focus on the consistency for the weight gain, because left to just my natural appetite, and you guys see, I mean, you can follow me on Instagram. I pretty much do what I eat in a day almost every day on Instagram. You see the volume of food that I eat. Not lying about it. I don't, you know, there's no tricks going on here. It's not like I'm showing you one thing and doing another. I eat a lot of food. But I have to make sure I'm eating a lot of food consistently or my weight will start sliding down. And that's been the toughest lesson for me, and that's been the most frustrating thing at times, although in the last year, 18 months, I've gotten a lot better at it, is that I would focus for a while. You know, I could focus for 3 or 4 days, sometimes a week, 2 weeks at a time on every day, making sure that I'm eating enough. But then, you know, I would either go somewhere for some reason 2 or 3 days or just wasn't as hungry, would lose a little bit of focus and my weight would come back down because I really have to eat some food to keep this, to keep my weight up. One thing that I found for me, and this is kind of like do what I say, not what I do. You know, people have this funny relationship with the scale, but I've got a doctor's scale here, and I've found since I've been back in the States that I've learned a lot by weighing myself very regularly, because I go a lot by, I'm not going to put stuff into chronometer. That's just not my style, sitting down and geeking out and knowing exact numbers and counting calories and whatever. So like I've said in a video, I don't remember what video I said that in, I've just kind of learned to judge how much volume I'm taking in, you know, and I know kind of more about volume that I need to maintain, lose, or gain, rather than like, okay, I need X amount of calories. I know what it looks like throughout the day. So weighing often has helped me over this last year about, okay, now I see, you know, oh, now I've been getting on the scale. Every time I'm getting on the scale now, my scale's more or less, you know, about the same. And then, you know, I noticed it the first of the, you know, when spring, like kind of when we made that transition from spring-like weather into summer, I was walking all the time. I was drinking a lot of watermelon juice, still am. And I just noticed my body started to morph. It was starting to lose weight because I was consistently just kind of on this buzz, you know, moving, walking a lot, enjoying just the watermelon juice, which doesn't have any calories or not very many. and my weight was starting to go down again. And that stuff that I had built, I put on a little bit of extra solid weight over the winter, and I saw some of that go away. But I don't know, I'm kind of enjoying that natural progression of seasons that I didn't experience in Costa Rica. It's not like I got fat over the winter, but I made an effort, put on some extra weight, and then it just came right back off, or a good bit of it came right back off. I felt like I had still added some muscle throughout the year. One thing I want to say, and it's not big swings either way. For me, it's gotten to a point after 6 years of doing this lifestyle, I think I've figured out that there's only a few hundred calories difference each way. In other words, like if I need this amount to maintain the weight I'm at, it's not like I eat a lot less well, number one, I don't try to lose weight. I'm just not at that place. So I kind of am taking this and putting it into terms where somebody else might be able to use it. But I think just naturally, if I go back and reflect on things that have happened when I've lost a little bit weight that I may not have wanted to, it's not a lot of calories, volume of food either way. Like if let's say X is my maintenance weight, my weight loss weight is only like maybe X minus 300 or 400 calories every day. Boom. It's not a lot. It's not restricting. Still eating plenty of food, but I'll find, if I start missing that 300 to 500 calories each day, boom, my weight will drop a little bit. Conversely, if I can be consistent and I can add 300 to 400 to 500 calories every day, and I'm gonna really play with this a little bit more systematically when cooler weather comes back around, and I may want to, thicken up again for the cool weather. But it's being consistent, because when I first got into this lifestyle, and I remember my weight just plummeted. I got down to 143 pounds. I freaked out. I've got to get weight back on me. Now, mind you, this is 5 years ago, it's almost 6 years ago. So my understanding's a lot different. So I just started eating everything that was vegan, potatoes with oil on them, whatever. It was just about gaining weight, putting weight back on. And pretty quickly I gained 8 or 10 pounds so I could feel a little bit better and didn't look like a stick man walking around. But I had gained it and added so much so quick that it wasn't necessarily solid gain. It was just, I was a little soft around. I'd put some weight back on. I kind of had that skinny fat thing going on. I was still really thin, but a little softer. So I found that sweet spot just to be consistent every day. Just a few hundred calories more, just a little bit more food every day. It could be just as simple as, and this next fall, winter, I'm going to use bananas as my control, just like each day, 3 extra bananas this day, or the equivalent of 3 extra bananas, somewhere in those calories, but 3, 4, 5 extra bananas a day, and play with that and see how that goes. But it's not that big of a range. It's not like you're taking big swings, and you shouldn't be taking big swings. And you really shouldn't. I just don't think that's super healthy. I'm not going to say it's terrible, but especially when we're eating plant-based and we're eating raw. But I just don't see why these people make such big weight swings. There's just something there. If you see yourself live on this lifestyle and you're experiencing big weight swings that you're not in control of, you're not trying, you don't want, I would look into what you're eating, because I don't know. I've heard somebody they put on, I had to work last winter to try and put on 8 to 10 pounds. Didn't quite get there, and then some of it dropped back this spring. And then I'll hear other raw vegans, and they're telling you they're eating low fat, they're eating like this and that, and then they just inadvertently talk about how they gained 15 or 18 pounds. Now, I'm not throwing any shade or criticizing whatsoever. I don't understand that. I don't know how that happens, unless you're just going off the rails at certain times and you flip out. You're eating, you take the almond butter to the couch with a spoon and you're just gobbling down fat. Check yourself if you're seeing major weight swings in either direction. But it really is always going to boil down to consistency. What you do every day. People worry more. People focus actually more on their slip. They focus on things they don't do every day. People really focus on their slip ups. They can be consistent. I've seen people that eat very, very well and trip themselves up and consider they've fallen off because they eat something that's not the 100% raw or that's not exactly on their plan, and they consider themselves a failure. It gets into their head and it spins them out of control. And it's all about what you do consistency. You screw up one day, just get right back onto the consistency. I'm telling you, that's where people really screw themselves. It's like when they do something, it's like they double down. Whether it's like you feel like you've screwed up when you eat cooked food. Okay, you ate cooked food. Just go back to raw the next meal. So you ate something really, really bad, or you've gained some weight. Get that shit out of your mind. Stop dwelling on it. That's what happens with people. People eat something like that. They eat cooked food, and then they go into this, oh, I'm depressed. I ate cooked food. I didn't want to eat cooked food, or I didn't want to eat this, didn't want to eat that. So they just roll with it and wallow in the depression, and they eat it, and then they go back on a kick of eating it. Now, I don't have any bones about eating the occasional cooked meal. And you know why? Maybe there really is something to this whole everybody's addicted out there. I eat a cooked meal, and let me clarify too, when I say I do eat some cooked food, it's not very, very often, and I never like roll with that. In other words, like I don't have a day where if I eat cooked, I don't eat cooked all day. It's usually just boom, you eat a cooked meal, and then I'm right back on where I am, drinking watermelon juice, eating bananas, eating green smoothies, and whatever. So it's about what you do consistently. I'm going to say that again and again. I want to pound that message into your head today. It's about consistency, and it's not about these little hiccups. And it's not even about, on the other hand, it's not about, I just mentioned, messing up and getting too down on yourselves. It's also, too, people will do something like for 3 or 4 weeks, and they get a little too congratulatory to themselves, and then they realize doing something good for 2 or 3 weeks isn't all that impressive if you don't continue that and keep that consistent. And that's the whole principle that I go back to with these whole juice feast and juice fast. People get so high and they feel so good about their accomplishments, and so many of them are just simply yo-yoing. They're going back, and hey, once again, I'm sure they get that benefit and they feel great. I'm not, even though it's not my thing, I'm not saying a juice feast or fast isn't going to help you, isn't going to give you some cleansing, isn't going to make you feel better. The point I'm always trying to make, though, is you can't live on those. You have to learn how to eat. And that's what happens. I see these people, they do their juice feast all over and over and over, but they've never learned how to eat. So let's don't argue. Somebody always jumps in there and tries to defend the juice feast. Do your juice feast, but you still got to learn how to eat, because you can't live on a juice feast all the time. So do your juice feast with my blessing, but what are you going to do after you get off of it? Are you going to eat clean? Are you going to eat clean raw food? Or are you just going to bounce back, make your excuses, well, I did this and that, and now I need another juice feast to clean me out? Consistency. Consistency in everything in life. What you do consistently, you'll see results from it. Anyhow, just my 2 cents worth. Hope you guys enjoyed this one today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you tomorrow, and hope you have a beautiful weekend. Peace.